Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by. So today's layout right here is the first layout, or rather really the second layout, because you would probably have seen yesterday's video, which was also part of this collection or kit rather. And this is the Scrap Your Stash or Bash Your Stash. I don't know, however you want to look at it. But I am using this kit that I had put together few years ago, rediscovered it, and now I am making pages out of it. Another thing I want to spotlight is, you know, all those school pictures that you get and you don't know what to do with? Well, recently I was cleaning up and going through some papers, and I found this wallet size 6 pictures of my daughter, who is now a full grown adult. And I was like, what am I going to do with this? So I figured I would throw it into a layout. And here it is. I'm really happy how it turned out. I have a little journaling space where I plan on writing down what grade she was, which I honestly don't remember what grade she was in. I want to say 4th or 5th grade. But I really love how it turned out. So I hope this will inspire you to use some of these pictures that you have in your stash of your kids, of your nieces and nephew that, you know, you bought, now you don't know what to do with, and to use your stash. These are all old pieces. Some of them weren't even, actually, I don't think any of them were 12 by 12, and you'll see that in my video. Thank you for watching. If you are a subscriber, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you can give me a thumbs up, it will help other people find my video. And if you're not a subscriber and this is your first time here, welcome. I am excited that you're here. I hope you will consider subscribing to my channel by clicking the subscribe button down below. And if you are looking for notifications to see when I have new content up, please click on the bell and you will get notifications. So thank you so much. Let me know what you do with your school pictures, leftover school pictures, and leave me a message down below. I really am interested in knowing what you do with them. Have a great day. Here's my video. Okay, so this is take 2 of this voiceover, because the first one I didn't hit record. So here we go. I am using this photo, this 6, actually they're not even wallet size. They're 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, 2 by 2.5, somewhere around there, of my daughter. And this is back in elementary school sometime. I am using some really old papers here. Don't even know who they're by. You're going to see a bunch of oldies but goodies like Cosmo Cricket, and I think that might have been a sassafras. There's Imaginess. There's all kinds of goodies. And so you can tell that this collection that I made here, this kit, is all oldies. Nothing wrong with the oldies, but you know, I do miss some of these companies. I really liked their collections, and I'm sad that they've all disappeared from the you know, crafty world. Tell me what your favorite oldie but goodie is. Like, one of my favorites is Basic Gray. Can never go wrong with Basic Gray or Sassafras. Sassafras Last. Those were probably my 2 favorite. Oh, and maybe Imaginess. That I loved all their stuff. So I'm just going to go ahead and build lots of layers. And as you can tell, none of these papers are 12 by 12. They are probably, the biggest one would probably be this one. And I would probably say that's like an, I don't know, 6 by 12 or an 8 by 12, somewhere around there. And I'm going to just start cutting down my layers to make it the size that I'm, you know, envisioning in my little head here. I'm also pulling out all these little cards to use for tags and for other little embellishments that I can possibly use. So bear with me while I move some of this around, and I will start putting these layers all together. So at first I was like, okay, I want this colorful paper, which way, what direction? Do I want it on the bottom? Do I want it on the top? Ultimately, the black and white stays on the bottom and will be the base of my layering, followed by this colorful rickrack style paper. And I'm basically making a frame of the black, using the black and white. Now this circle I had cut who knows when, using a Kiwi Lane template, and that was like the innard part of the circle. And yeah, so I'm gonna use that too. And don't be afraid to cut things up. Use it however you need to. Like this paper, for example, here, you're going to see me cut it in half because I want to use, I want to make it look like it's on both sides of the paper, like if it were longer. But then I decide that I want to alternate and flip the colors so that it looks like they're like diagonal, kind of. I guess that would be the best way to explain it. So as I'm adding papers to this, I'm trying to alternate dark and light so that there is contrast, and as well as adding colors that are going to match. And I mean, there's a lot of color on here, but for the most part, everything somehow matches and works well and doesn't clash with each other. And when you're layering, you want to add you want to have adhesive on it, but you don't want to put too much adhesive, especially on the edges, because you want to be able to tuck things in. Like for example, this little red and white polka dot that I'm tucking in there. If I would have put a lot of adhesive on the edges, I wouldn't have been able to lift that up to, tuck it into. So that's a little tidbit for you as far as layering. And for me, and everyone, obviously, there is no wrong or right way. I like to alternate where my edges are so that for me it's visually pleasing. So I never put a paper lined up with the next paper. I hope that makes sense. I like seeing that it has a frame around it, that there is, as you can see, actually I'm about to glue this down, so you'll see it in a second. Like every piece of paper is either somehow slightly tucked in where it's a little larger than the next paper, but you can see that, like for example, the yellow paper is the only paper that I'm actually kind of using as a mat, and it does line up with the blue. I guess that was like a painter's thingamajiggy, but I like to see that there's, I guess graduation's the right word. I don't want to see everything lined up together, and I don't normally put everything straight down, like straight lines. I think it feels almost like if you would have taken a stack of paper and like dropped it on your desk and kind of like mushed it together to make a kind of a neat, mess on stack on your desk. That's the way I like to see my layers. God, I hope that made sense. If you need me to explain that a little better and maybe do a technique video on layering, let me know in the comments, and I will do a video just showing you my process of layering. So here I'm just trying to line up these circles. As you can see, I cut them in half so that I'd have half on top, half on the bottom. And this is just so I can soften everything up, because there's so many squares and points and straight lines. I wanted to have some sort of circle element to, I don't know, to make it more visually pleasing. I'm going to use these L Studio label dies in my diamond press, whatever it's called. And I'm going to cut a few of these strips into labels to add around my page. Except I'm looking at, oh, okay, never mind. I was going to say I'm looking at my page now and I don't see any of them. I must have covered them, but no, I see them. They end up going at the bottom of the page, as you can see right there. Almost like if they were tabs to the different layers. All right, so now I am going to start, I guess, figuring out what my embellishments are. I'm going to use some of these. Oh, no, I'm turning that around because I didn't have any white paper. And this is a single-sided piece of paper, and I have multiple of it. So I'm going to use that as the main background to my page. I'm going to use that little tag for journaling, as well as some of these words that I'm cutting out of this cut apart. I really love these type of cut aparts because they have so many options for your, for your pages. Like you have words, you have all kinds of things that definitely work. Tags. That one has a frame, which that frame I end up throwing away because I know I'm never going to use it. So right away, I have learned that if I know it's not my style or not something that I like, it goes in the garbage. So yeah, this definitely is going to start coming together pretty quick. Part of this kit, I had a lot of embellishments that were just like one-offs or things that I forgot to put away, and now I don't remember what, where they go. So I'm trying to use them up because if I don't use them up, they're going in the trash. And there's a lot of stuff, so there's a lot of things that I need to use up in the next few weeks. So I'm starting to add these little tags that I cut out. And at first I was thinking adding one, since there's 3 rows of pictures, I was thinking of using one at each level of, but then I end up only using one of them on top, which is the one that says laugh. And then I bring the one that says smile down to one of the tabs that I had punched out. And I'm sure you'll see me move that one more time once I throw in my title. I'm also cutting this out that says print, but I end up covering that and using that as a background to an old homemade embellishment that I made using stuff that was in my stash. So the precious ends up being taken off, and it will move down to the right side of my pictures over by where that print word is. I was auditioning these frames, but they don't make it. Although it would kind of be cute to spotlight one picture, but I wasn't feeling it. And since it's a school pictures, I decided to use that globe, that world globe, and the colors work perfectly. So it is going on there, as well as a little, not the mustache. I thought I was going to use the mustache, but I changed my mind. So I have that floral piece. That doesn't make it on there either. But I do end up finding and there's that smile again, which actually didn't look bad there. I thought it worked well, but I don't end up using that. I'm pulling out these gray sequins again and just sprinkling them around my page in an effort to use them up. I realized that I had not glued down my tags, so here's where I'm actually gluing them down, as well as continuing to add more of this gray sequence. So now you're going to see me bring in a few more pieces. I have that round circle, which I don't end up using, but then I'm going to find the title, and think I might be bringing, oh, there is that homemade embellishment, and it has a little popped up hello on it. Oh, excuse me. Ooh, I couldn't stop my video quick enough. That one came out of nowhere. I have this little punched out So Loved, and this video is really coming very close to being done. So hang out for a second and you're going to see me finish this layout. And basically I'm just adding a couple last minute words. I'm going to throw in my title, and I find a paper squirrel, which is kind of an inside joke with my kids. So I wanted to add the squirrel in there, even though it, you know, wouldn't make any sense to this layout, but it, you know, it will make sense to them. I'm adding that little tag, and if you stick around to the end, you're going to see close-up pictures of my layout as well as links to other videos that might interest you. I hope that I've inspired you to try using your scraps, and thank you so much for watching.